I was doing, you got Pistol Pete Enzo here with Chazza from Southwest Sydney. Deuce all day. Let's get into this, bro. Fucking up.
Yeah, man can say whatever they want, it don't count until
Charlie says.
your boy ain't ever been #1 in the country until
Charlie says.
that's right, they respect my opinion, yeah, they wait until
Charlie says.
Split screen, January 2019. So you probably made this back
bro.
into 2018. What's going on? What's going on in life around these times?
I think that split screen was. I'm pretty sure split screen was after we done a track called "What You Gonna Do, Lad," and that's what really. Pretty sure that's when we first started hitting the millions of views and that. So we first just gaining traction, and it was like everything was new as well. You know what I mean? And we were just having fun with it. And with the video, shout out to Jordan Most. That was just one of the boys, bro. Just had a camera and a laptop. And yeah, we were just mucking around, had fun with it. I'm pretty sure we recorded it with.
I think that was his first video that he made as well.
Yeah, it was.
Literally,
Yeah,
so you threw
video.
this. So was this like a last minute thing? Kind of like you didn't put loads and loads of thought into it, kind of just recorded something, liked it, and wanted to slap it out quick?
Yeah, bro. It was like oh fuck, we got the track ready. We thought it was ready back then, you know what I mean? So we had it ready, and then it was like,
because Sammy Heat sent us the bit. Sammy Heat sent it to us, and then we fucked with it hard. It's just like bouncy, and it was like, fuck, this is us. And then I remember we were just like, fuck, let's just write it back to back, because we didn't even do a chorus or nothing, and then we just wrote it back to back together, and then we just pumped it out with Open Till Late. We actually did it in our garage. He came to us, and he recorded us in our garage. Yeah. And then fucking, I think we just did it like in a couple takes, fucking smashed it out, and then just went from there.
Yeah, man, that's sick. There's a little quick thing, and yeah, this is one of your most viewed songs. Or freestyles. Yeah, man. It's mad how you can throw something together last minute and it just sometimes is the moment for people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's mad like that.
Yeah, straight out.
Then we put Campbelltown on the map. Now fuck that, we put the whole Southwest right up on our back.
Alright, so like we put Campbelltown on the map. Like we put, like, do you? I know you boys have said this in your music, but like, let's touch on it real quick. Like, do you feel like one of the first to represent your area? Represent not only your area, but like your people as well, innit? Like your culture. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, where do you feel like you fit in like the grand scheme of things?
On the fucking, like, on the music stage, like taking the music, like fucking oath, straight out, like one of the first, but like if we're not talking music and everything else, there's a lot of people that came before us, and even with the music stuff, but they just never like did it to the level that we wanted to do it, and the way that we took it, if you know what I mean.
The only other one was probably Persar, you know? He came out way back then, and he's the Campbelltown OG. Yeah. But for us, it was more like for our generation and our scene that that we're in now. We kind of,
because that's a whole different scene, you know what I mean? Like that side, that's like the Aussie hip hop side, and that. Like our scene is like all the area shit, you know what I mean? It's not just white people. We got everyone over these ways.
So it's not necessarily starting something, but it's kind of carrying and continuing on something, improving upon something, kind of taking it further or taking it in a different direction.
Yeah, that's 100%, bro. Taking it in a different direction. It wasn't before us, like in the music, there wasn't really much polys doing it as well, like Samoans and that, Tongans, you know what I mean? So when we come out doing it for our people, doing it for like our own little scene, it was like we were proud to do it because we are one of the first, you know what I mean? Do you guys speak Pig Latin up in the UK?
Not to my knowledge, no. So my first time hearing it was through doing the reactions and whatnot. And my understanding is you take like the last few letters and you put it at the start and like adle, eshe, etc., etc. So
yeah, because that's what like a lot of if you're like not from the areas or from like Australia, Sydney, like the slang here is like everyone uses Pig Latin hard out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's typically like the first letters of the word or the first letter, and you chuck it at the end and just add A on it.
Yeah.
So that's why that line, like if other people didn't get it, my oi boy hit my own phone with the O. That's practically me saying like my boy hit my phone with the go.
Yeah.
Like just in Pig Latin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like something different, and that was something that Hardly was in the scene as well, using that like that kind of slang.
Yeah. Was Pig Latin something that was used, like, is it a newer thing or is it been from like back in the day, like?
Nah. From back in the days, bro. Like our older boys, my older boys were talking that before we started talking it. So years, bro. It's been generations, really.
Yeah.
Aye. The only thing it's moved for is to be on mainstream with it. Like, you know, like back then it was just like if you're in the area, you speak like that. But now, fucking every cunt's talking like that now. You know
anyone that just listens to Aussie music, then now everyone speaks it.
Yeah. Alright, listen, another 2 years, I might be speaking fluent in it. You never know, man. So, so here you're going back to back, like literally line for line, like bar for bar. Is that something that you've always done, or is that something that you kind of started to do a bit later on?
I think we made it established on this track. Like we've always done it, you know what I mean? As just rapping together, freestyling. But when this track came out, it was more like this is us. Like, you know what I mean? The back to back is us. Like
I think that's another reason why we didn't have a chorus too, because we just wanted to fucking bar out back to back on the whole thing.
Yeah, nah, strong. And do you feel like that plays into the success in like a freestyle like this, where they're like, oh shit, they're literally going like lyric for lyric? Do you think like that element? Because I, like me personally, I fucking love it. Like I love it when it's done right as well, because sometimes you hear people go back to back and you could tell it's a bit rigid. Like there's no chemistry there. With you two obviously being a duo, you can tell there's the chemistry there. You can tell that it's written and it flows together. You know what I'm saying? It bounces effortlessly back and forth. And even though other people can do exactly the same structure of line for line, sometimes it just doesn't click the same way. I think the reason this works for you boys is because it clicks. You can tell there's the chemistry there. Like, do you feel like that plays into why people love it, kind of thing?
Yeah, 100%, bro. And I think we have a bit of a like an advantage as well, because we're brothers. Growing up, it was like, yeah, but like that's it. It says it right there. Because we're brothers growing up, doing it all the time. Chemistry is always gonna be there. You know what I mean?
I got Red Bull cans, they'll give you all wings. I don't feel your shit just like morphine.
And you got like slick punchlines in there. You got the wordplay. Like, again, is that something that you feel like has improved over the years, or do you feel like you've always had that in the bag?
No, I think it's something that we've been improving on. You know, to be a good rapper, I guess you got to always keep on improving. And like that's what we like aim to do. We don't just people say like fuck, we got the bars. And like you do nothing about it. You got to keep on working at it, you know. So keep on leveling up.
And is it something that you consciously put in? Like, do you think, right now, you know what? In this verse, I know I need some hard hitting lines, or do you kind of just naturally integrate it as you're writing?
I think it's half for me. Sometimes I know I got to do it, but if it feels too forced, I just won't put it in. Like I wrote a lot of raps where I scrapped the whole verse. Yeah. And like sometimes when you try to write like bars harder, those are the ones that come off like you're reaching, you know, like cheesy. And I won't even try to improve the bars. I'll just scrap it and I'll just go again. That's for me.
Enzo,
I reckon half, or I reckon the bars hit better when it like if I'm writing and it just comes off the top of my head, like so it fits in the verse. I reckon it hits better, you know what I mean? Rather than trying to force it, because I have like in some songs I'll be like, oh, I want to talk like if I want to get the message across more, I'll lower the bars, you know what I mean? I'll lower the bars and put more statements in it. But if we do songs like a freestyle, like how we done Out the Vault, that's when I'm fucking reaching out of my fucking, you know what I mean? That's when I'm going for it. But
those ones are.
Nah, and I'm glad you said that the way you did as well, because I 100% agree with you in terms of when you want to get a certain message across, you go more statement based. You allow like the emotion to hit hard, or you allow the story to hit hard, rather than, oh, it hits hard because it's a nice pop culture reference. You know what I'm saying? I think understanding the importance of what to do and when. There's a time and place to bar out. For example, a freestyle like this where you're going back to back, but when you're doing that storytelling stuff, and we'll get to that especially in the next couple tracks, you know, sometimes you don't want to be distracted by a crazy punchline. It is more about the message that you're trying to get across. So not even dumbing it down, but just perhaps being less lyrical, or lyrical in a different way. You know, I think that's an important
100%.
thing to have. And I think some people get caught up too much in, but was there a crazy punchline in there? And sometimes I think that takes away from something sometimes depending on the mood of what you're going for. So I'm glad that you said that the way you did.
Shows ever, but they want more. Also got it on call. Rappers like some jumpers in the summer. What the fuck you got them on for?
So you're not even going bar for bar now. Now you're just overlapping with each other. Like, do you always write with each other, or do you ever write separately?
For this one, we write with each other. You know what I mean? We write with each other while we were sitting there as well. And we were just bouncing back to back, and we thought, because the end is how it is, we wanted to fucking finish it off strong, you know what I mean? That's why we bounced off like that, you know, like cutting into each other's lines or finishing off lines.
But whenever it's like back to back verses, we always do it together. But if it's like just our single verses, sometimes we'll do it together, sometimes we'll do it separate, you know?
So yeah, Split Screen happens 2019, and then in a moment we're gonna jump to the finals EP. What happens in that time? Like, what changes between 2019 and 2021 in that 2-year gap?
I'm pretty sure after Split Screen we had we took a break. Like we took a kind of a break, like a break away from music. We stayed independent. We dropped the EP as well. During that time we were independent. And I guess we're trying to like we're just like finding our feet, if you get what I mean. Because even in that time period, there was there's no real structure or real places to push the music. It was like
we didn't have much direction, you know. Like we're just doing it like with ourselves and shit. Like it was just pretty hard to just try to find our feet in that, you know.
So you were still like living life. You were still working on shit, still figuring shit out. What drove you to make the finals EP?
The finals EP. That's like that's something we've always wanted to do, like a project like that where we tell our own story and tell a story. But we kind of wanted to do that with the first EP, but we had like dramas with that, like we had to rush it and we didn't get to market it how we wanted to or promote it how we wanted to. But I guess with the finals, it was like, especially having that label push behind us, you know what I mean? It was a good time for us to just practically just have a crack at it, bro. You know, it was like it was a good time to fucking put it all together. It was a good process putting it together as well. It was hectic, you know, putting our effort and handpicking all the beats, how the beats are made, the interludes, constructing the whole thing was like something we wanted to do for ages. So when we're doing it, it wasn't like work for us. We were enjoying it. You know,
see, you know, there's a lot of talk around people, you know, being with labels or even having a deal for when you roll out a project, right? Like a publishing deal and things like that. And people look down upon deals all the time, but you know, not all of them are bad. You know what I mean? And then if you do find a genuine team that are there to help you, that's one of the biggest benefits of having a team around you of professionals that can help you with what you want to achieve. But ultimately, you just got to worry about the creative side, because when you're going solo, when you're doing it independent and whatnot, you know, it could be tricky to do a lot of those things because you got to think about advertising, marketing, and you know, from our standpoint, you know what I mean, as artists, you don't want to be thinking about that all the time, you know. Not all of us are social media gurus that can, you know what I mean, like just run and gain attention like that. Like not everyone's like that. So it's nice, it must be nice to just be able to work on the music and focus on that and have your say in other things, but not have it all put on both of your shoulders, if that makes sense. Was it nice to have like a good team around you to help you with all of that?
100%.
Yeah, fucking right, bro. You need it, bro. Straight out. You need a good team behind you. Can't do everything yourself,
Especially going from being independent for so long, like, you know what I mean? We've done it for a couple of years before we even did get signed to Buildy, you know, with K and that. So when we did get the help, it was like we knew where we needed it. We knew what we needed to do on our side, and we knew what we needed them to do. So it was kind of like, it was good, bro. It was good timing, you know?
What? This track here, yeah? Right, listen, this track is causing problems this year. Like, alright, cool, it ain't got 2.8 million views, but you know what it's got? Anyone who chats to me about this track shares a very similar opinion to me. Yeah?
What's that, bro? What's that?
At this point in time, recording at this close time, somewhere around August, this point in the year is still I'll play it safe and I'll say top two. I'll play it safe and say top 2 tracks of the year for me. And that's playing it safe. I could very easily say it's my favorite. And the reason I love this track so much, right? And I've said my reasons before, and I've got like a 30-minute clip, something like that on YouTube. You know what I mean? You've seen the streams and whatnot. But after living with it for a bit, because you know your opinion changes on things over time. The reason I still love this, and I'm pretty sure I've already said it though, is you've got such a balance of something that hits home and something that just sounds hard at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, I could listen to this by myself with my headphones on and enjoy it. I could play this around the mandem and enjoy it. I could even play it around a girl and it ain't gonna be that like too aggressive and kind of like, oh, what's this shit? It's like, oh no, that's quite a nice song. And it just touches everything so well, like, and depending on the environment you're in, it kind of has different meanings almost. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just delivers so much. There's so many boxes that it ticks more than it should. You know what I mean? If I'm looking at someone and go, right, I'm gonna teach you the fundamentals of making a song. This is almost doing too much. I'm like, no, but for some reason it just manages to pull everything off. This track here, how did this track come about for you boys? Like, did you plan and think, right, I want to make a song like this? Was it based on the features that you had? Like, how did this song come together?
So when we got the beat, mate, we got it from Beats by Chef.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Chef and that. So we went, it was, originally it just had me and Pistol on it. So me and Pistol, we went in the studio, and then we were in the studio, and I had something completely different for the beat.
Yeah, because we didn't even like discuss what we're doing with the song. We're like, fuck, this beat's out.
Man.
Let's just go in the studio with beats with Chef, and then we'll do it.
So when we rocked in, Pistol jumped up and he was like, oh yeah, I'll do the first verse. And then Pistol jumped up on the mic and he done that first verse that he's got there. He pulled that off, and I was just sitting there like, fuck. Like, fuck, bro, I got to change my verse now, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, you know.
Oh, so you had a different verse originally then?
Yeah. I had something, like, I had a whole different thing planned for the beat, like a different direction and everything. You know what I mean? But when Pistol slapped his verse on, I was like, fuck, like, you know when you can feel it, like, you're like, oh, like, you get a good feeling as well. And because it's deep, you know what I mean? We done that. And then, so, or after he slapped the verse on, I slapped the chorus on. And so the chorus originally is me singing it.
Okay.
Yes. So I sing the chorus in the original, and then we after that yada 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 finished the song. It was me and him, and then we were thinking like, fuck, you know. After we went to the studio, you know how it's like, it's different when you play it back when you're in the car, when you're driving away from the studio and that.
Yeah.
And then Pistol called me up, and then we're talking. We're like, fuck, we should get a feature on it. You should get, you know, one of the boys on it. And it's like, it fits good because you got LDP, because he's close to it. He's like another brother to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? We knew him before the music shit growing up.
We worked with him since young, like through school, footy, everything. So, and he's always been rapping as well and singing as well. And then we thought, fuck, he'd be perfect to jump on this because we know the way he raps and how he sings and that, and and he fit on a good.
Strong. And then Bally Boy, how did Bally Boy get on the track?
Yeah, so we sent it to our manager, and then low key. So we sent it to him, like, oh, what do you think? You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. And then he was like, bro, he was talking to me. He's like, fuck, Bally would fit hectic on this. You know what I mean? And then we told him, oh, fucking enough, get him to do a version, and then send it back to us. So he done his own thing, and then when he jumped on it, I was like, fuck, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta say that was probably one of the best calls as well, man, because the hook just elevates this track. You know what I mean? It ties your verses together and LDP's verses together so well, and yeah, man, the vocals are just All right, let me stop. Let me stop now. Let me get critical for a second, man. But no, on a level, man, I can't hide it, man. This is one of my favorite tracks of the year. Let's go through this, man, because
fucking man,
thousands in the pokies just to heal it. Fat and molly, might also stay real close.
Fat and molly. That means please in Samoan, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting good at this.
Yeah.
We have that one or something.
Hey, listen, I might start speaking fluent by the end of the year. You never know. Eh?
I know.
Come try again, there's no luck. Ay. So much pain. Now I smoke up every day.
And the way that it builds as well, you know what I mean? Like each 8 bar, it just kicks in even more and it builds up. Did you write with that in mind, kind of thing, like knowing that that beat was built, or was that kind of done afterwards? Was the beat altered at all after you written your verses in any way?
Yeah.
Nah,
So
bro,
I wrote it like that. The beat didn't. Wait, did the beat go like that? I can't remember.
Nah, your energy went like that. So like,
Yeah, the beat didn't go like that, eh?
yeah, the beat didn't go like that, but Pistol's energy was
Like that, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It lifting and
Yeah.
lifting. That's fucking. It was good, bro. Straight out.
And it just builds. So yeah, I definitely think that your verse belongs first, 100%, because it just builds the energy for the track, like all the way to the hook.
Yeah,
and then the hook's
100%.
so subtle and soft, and it's like, and then it's that, as I say, that roller coaster effect of the highs and the lows, and yours just builds up and up and up, like kind of thing. So yeah, it makes sense.
Innocence in a clean mind just means your brain so washed. So much motherfucking pain.
And that's a reoccurring theme throughout your verse as well. Like, why did you decide to do the so much pain? Like, why do you keep going back to that line?
So when I wrote it, I did this so much pain, and I wrote it, and then I finished it off, and then I was like, fuck, and then I just felt like, you know what I mean? I feel, fuck, it's hard to explain, but I just felt it. I was like, and just wanted to say it again and keep going, like harder and harder, you know. It wasn't like planned. It was just like as I was writing it, like it felt to do it like that.
Felt like you just had more to say on that specific thing, so it's just like, let's revisit it. And as you said, each time you just revisit it with more energy, kind of thing. You know, even down to like from the first one, so much pain, don't let me smoke. And then by the last one, it's just like so much motherfucking pain, fuck the weed, where the lines like it literally, and it just like that big hectic energy, like what for all what?
Just know for all my knowledge.
Yeah, strong. Like listen, my brother's got me in the shower thinking I can sing, you know, hitting all sorts of riffs and runs with no auto tune on my voice. Yeah, strong. When you heard Bally's hook, like did you think to yourself like, nah, you know what? Yeah, we like this. Was you sure on it straight away, or did like he revisit it in any way, shape, or form, or was that from the minute you heard it, you like,
Enzo did it, and he sung it as well, Enzo, and it was cracker. I was like, fuck, nah, this is it, you know. And I was like, and then when Enzo was telling me, oh fuck, we're talking about getting Playboy, and I was like, fuck, but your one's hectic, you know what I mean? Because it was fucking cracker. And then, so I was a bit iffy about it, you know, being on Playboy. But then when I heard it, that's the one. Boom, see you later.
Yeah. Enzo, how do you feel about that being allegedly outshined on the hook? Allegedly.
Now, for me, it was like, because I'm not a singer, I was always like, nah, like I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to push that. I'll just stick to the rapping and that. But the boys were telling me, Pistol was telling me, like, nah, bro, it's like the hook sounds good. And I was like, nah, fuck. But when Bally sent his, fuck, I reckon it lifted the whole thing, bro. You know what I mean?
It changed it.
It just changed the whole song. For me, it changed the whole song. It just fucking put it on a different level. It gave a different feel, you know what I mean? Hearing a different vocal as well. Fuck, it's crack up, bro. Straight out.
All right, so are we expecting to hear some vocals from you at some point in the future then?
Yeah, maybe, bro. You know what I mean? Playing around here and there, but
okay.
You never know, bro.
I'll expect the acoustic EP to be coming soon.
Turn shit up when slick got pinch. Ran in the game, made a flip with a stick. I ain't gonna stop till the paper legit.
And I guess it hits for you as well, because you're saying like you grew up with your man, right? So when he's saying like, back in the day and real ones, like, do you feel like you can relate to his verse as well, like knowing him on a personal level like that as well?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. In that as well. You know what I mean? It hits home. Especially because we're all tight knit, and we're all rapping about our own struggles and, you know, whatever we're going through. For us, it's like that one bit more because we're all close. You know what I mean?
Just know for all my knowledge.
So what does that line mean? For all mine, I'll lay yours. Like why is that the tagline of the track?
Because it's called family. It's practically for all my family, I'll lay down your family. You know what I mean? Or for me anyway, that's what it means. Like, I'll do anything. I'll do what it takes. You know what I mean? For me and mine, even if it means that I'll have to, you know, put yours down, but I'll do it because it's for mine. That's what it means to me. You know.
Now I'm worried about if I'm a good role model for my son. This shit's always up in my brain, lad. I don't see myself.
Nah. We gotta revisit that line. I'm worried about if I'm a good role model for, like, does that line represent growth within you? Like, when I was younger, I only cared about myself. It was just about doing a madness, and now it's like it's not about me now. It's like I got like. Is that what it means for you? Does that represent growth for you?
For me, it's like I was talking about my journey from back then to now. You know what I mean? Even the contrast in how we just listen to Split Screen. You know, it's a different me. It's a different Enzo. You know what I mean? So it's a big like you said, bro, a big growth. You know what I mean? As you do, bro. You know, growing up, everyone, you know, starts maturing and doing what they need to do. So that's practically what it is, cuz.
And I hear that, you know, and it's something that I want to encourage within people because, you know, especially in the hip hop world, it's all about, I've been the same since day one and I ain't switched up on people. And to a certain extent, yeah, but that's your morals. But you can still grow as a person. You know what I mean? When I respect someone saying, no, I have changed over time and I hope for the better. I respect that more than, I've been the same since day one, because I hear a bit of ignorance within some people when they say that. And so when I hear people self-reflecting and saying like, a man has fully grown up kind of thing, or I'm learning still, like being it that, like, that's even more maturity to say, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, like I'm still on that journey kind of thing. I respect that a lot. So I think that's why lines like that I absolutely love, because as you said, it's that maturity to be able to say, right, this is the difference before to now. Like, now I've got to worry about being a role model for my son. Like, yeah, so I respect it 100%.
And trust me, lad, I've had days when I wanted to go, put my ops on a shirt, my brother, we're different.
And that contradiction, that kind of like, you know, some days I don't even want to get out of bed. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? And then other days, like, one thing happens and I'm ready to be doing the absolute most kind of thing. Like, how?
Yeah, for that.
Yeah. Just touch on that lyric in general, like.
For me, it's like had days I wanted to be down in the earth. Like, it's talking about like I've had, like, you know how you do when you have your dark days, you hit rock bottom and that. That's what I'm talking about there. Like, I've had those days, and then I've had the days where, you know, I'm out trying to allegedly, you know, do some shit, you know what I mean? Trying to put it on, but it's practically just like a contrast. Same thing, bro. I reckon that's what the whole song is, or what my verse is about anyway. The contrast from going from this to that, and then, you know, coming from that and then going on to the other thing, you know, if you get what I mean.
Go run that ball, little boy, be brave, just know you're running it straight to your grave. So much pain.
I say this so often, yeah. You ain't gangster for purposely choosing to do dumb shit. What's gangster is being able to go, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna actually make something of myself. You know what's gangster? Actually being a good father. You know what's gangster? Holding down my P's and paying the rent. You know, like, you could go on for fucking ever. You get the idea, like. Is that something that you boys, as much, because obviously, again, those contradictions that happen within the project of kind of, you got one half that is like, no, we need to better ourselves, we need to better our people, we need to do better effectively. And then there's this other side of like, but we grew up, we've been there as well, we understand those emotions, we understand those morals and what you feel like you have to do. Is that something that you want to continue to talk about within your music?
Yeah, 100%, bro. It's like, as you grow older, the things that you view are important, you know, they start to shift, they start to change, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, just telling them, bro, like, if that's what you think is real, that's what you think is real. But over here, you know what I mean, we're doing what we need to do.
Yeah, straight out.
Hear it.
Don't let me smoke on.
And it's like talking to the younger ones too, and like saying, like, it's not us saying like, don't do this shit, don't like. It's like, fuck, we know, bro. Like, we know what he's in for. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not trying to preach. You know, it's just like, fuck, bro. Like,
it's not saying don't do it. You know, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying, you know, like, fuck, you can go do it, bro. Go do it, but just know what's, you know, what's in for you. Just know what you're gonna get out of it. You know. And if you want to go that way, bro. Yeah, that's all on you.
Yeah. So it's not telling people what to do, as you said. It's not preaching, but it's, you know, just sharing your story and just saying, look, I understand. We've been there, innit?
Yeah.
Just understand from our perspective, this is where it could lead you. So, you know, it's just giving your story and giving your advice. And that's just as powerful, if not more powerful, than saying, yo, this is what you need to do. Because there's one thing giving someone an instruction, but more time than not, if you're within that life, you don't want to listen to instructions. You don't abide by rules. You don't listen to what people say. But you know what you do? You look up to things. Now, unfortunately, when you're within a certain environment, the things that you look up to is normally fuckery. Normally within that environment. So if you then look up to at least a few things, you know what I mean, that at least plants that seed in your head, at least plants that thought in your head, you know what I mean? Like, then I think that's more powerful and more effective than people trying to grab someone like that and going, this is what you need to do. Because more time than not, they don't want to listen. And it might work for some people, but I think you have more of a soft effect on people by just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And just people just realizing, like, that doesn't mean that every single person that's going to listen to this track is going to reform and change as a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? It's just a soft effect, and if you're not the only ones and there's other people and you do it multiple, so I think it can have just a soft effect on people, and I think that will go a lot further. That will at least be taken in a lot more effectively than trying to grab someone and saying you're doing wrong, this what you need to do, kind of thing. So
100. Because growing up, if, like, you know what I mean, when you're 18 and that running a muck, if someone's going to tell you, oh, you have to change your ways, you have to do this, do that, like, bro, you're not going to listen, bro. You know what I mean? You're not going to listen to anything like that. That's why I say, like, go run the ball, go be brave, because you're going to run it straight to your, like, you know what I mean? Go straight to your grave. That's what's going to end up. You know what I mean? That's why I tell them, go do it. Go do it if you want, but I'll tell you what's going to happen when you do it.
Yeah. One of them ones. Don't say I didn't tell you so.
The man in the mirror, I got it all. Just know for all my knowledge.
And the last thing I'll mention, the visuals. What was it like filming this, man? Because Kevin Bar, Moonboy, like, this video is insane.
Shout out to the whole team, bro. Straight out. Crazy, lad. They all cried. The work rate, bro. It's ridiculous, lad. Straight out. The amount of effort they all put in.
Yeah.
Crazy,
well, what did it take? I think it was like 3 days, We did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And like all the days were like 12 plus hours,
Yeah, they were like 12-hour days, bro, every day. And one of them was even like the main scenes, like, of me and Belly out, out in the field, like the countryways.
Yeah.
That's like a 3-hour drive, bro.
Yeah.
And we're doing those at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, bro. And it was crazy. It was a hectic experience, but seeing how they do things.
Because am I right in saying this is like a level up to the videos that you had before? Like, you had, most of your videos are quite like performance shot based in the area and whatnot, and they're like nice professional looking videos, you know what I'm saying? But this had it like environmental storytelling. This had everything, from the house that you're in at the front to then the one in the field where you got the fire in the back and everything. Like was you even surprised with how good it come out? Was you surprised, like, from the minute that you started filming, or when you seen was there a point where you kind of sat back and was just like, raw, this is even bigger than we thought it would be, kind of thing?
Yeah, straight out. Even from the first day they brought the video to us. You know what I mean? When they come in, like, tell you what they picture and what we're gonna do, where we're gonna be. Even from that day, it was like, fuck, like, you know what I mean? This is gonna be proper.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hectic. And then shooting it was like fucking, bro. It was just different, lad. Straight out.
Yeah.
Different experience, especially with the Moonboard team.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them each and every time, man. Each and every time.
Come on, for all my knowledge.
I like the fact whenever he does a tagline, he always looks into the camera, like dead into the camera. Yeah, man. Hard. And that was one of the lead singles for the EP. So did you, and that's the last thing I'll touch on with this song, did you know that you wanted that to be a lead single? Like, from the minute you had the track, was it like, yeah, we know that that's one of the ones we need to lead with? Or was it kind of like, what made you choose to put this out before the project?
For me, it was, I didn't think that this would be like, this was like my favorite like track that we made, but I was like, no, I don't know if we'll lead with it, because we haven't like done that before, you know? And like, we're thinking like, I was thinking like just one of the harder tracks, because like that was the thing to do. But like, then I think it was when we were discussing it with like Low Key and that, and they were saying like, fuck, this one like needs to be like the lead single. You know, like fuck. And I thought about it then, like yeah, fucking have a story, you know. So yeah.
Victorious featuring Young and Lips. This one. How did you get Young and Lips on this one? Was that another thing through like Biordi?
Nah, with Lips, I've known Lips since probably since we were like 15, 16.
Right.
So you know, we go back like being in the area and that playing footy. Even Slade as well. Slade's like another producer that's in the scene. So like we all, you know, grew up together doing music. Fuck, we used to do music in my garage and that. We used to jig school, bro. We used to jig school, go do music in the garage and that. We got him on one of the songs, one of our early songs as well, Mama. We got him on one of those songs as well. And then after that, you know, he went and done his own thing. He popped the fuck off. And then it was good. This was like a full circle coming around doing like another song with him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good to get him on it.
So you worked with him before he dropped Misunderstood?
Yeah, way before that, yeah.
So you got a real connection there. It's not just like, let's just get him on the track because he's a big name now kind of thing. It's like, no, he's one of the boys from Day kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's one of the brothers.
Yeah,
that's
straight
true.
up.
And I like that hook. It's like everybody's got their own story to tell. Everyone's got a different upbringing, but you know what I'm saying? We're all just trying to eat. We're all just trying to do better by ourselves kind of thing. Like, did you have the hook first and then written your verses, or again, was it reverse engineered the other way round?
No, we had the verses done first, and then Lipo came in and like wrote the hook off of our verses.
Okay. So again, and then it just ties your verses together well that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swear to God, I dreamt of this shit. It tastes good when you work hard and get what you wish.
Tastes good when you dream hard and get what you get. And does it make it that bad? Like, did you ever sit back, you two, like once upon a time and be like, yeah, one day we're gonna make it big, or one day we're gonna have this? Like, did you ever have those conversations from young?
All the time, bro. All the time. Like, me and Pistol grew up wanting to. We grew up wanting to do this shit. That's why I say that line. Like, it tastes good when you get what you. Because like since we were young, even though we're not where we want to be, but where we were 2 years ago, we dreamt of where we are now. You know what I mean? So like it's like baby steps, but we're getting to where we want to be, and it's hectic for us, you know. Dream come true and that.
When you say like and have those conversations like we're gonna make it big, did you genuinely believe it, or is there an element of it? It's like, I know we said it, but it still feels like surreal.
I guess it's a bit of both. Like, I guess back then, like we knew we were gonna take it, and we still do know we're gonna take it to where we want it to be.
Fuck, I knew from the start, straight out. I remember when I used to tell them, I was like, yeah, fuck, we're gonna make it, bro. So like, fuck that shit. We're fucking the best. Like, you know, just talking our shit. Just like fucking believe that, and yeah, we'll get there one day, straight out.
Yeah, so you always said it, and there might be a little element of like, right, it actually happened, but you kind of knew that at the same time, like, nah, we've been saying this though, like, strong.
But for me, it's still like, I sit back and go, fuck, I can't believe like I'm in the position that I'm in now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I still sit back and trip out and appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
For the little ones waiting for better days, I'm not stopping till I'm cold and in my grave. Deuce,
So you literally say like, yeah, I'm rapping for something bigger. That it's more than just beef. When I say I'm from Southwest, it's not just about area beef and things like that. Like, I'm talking about the young'uns that grew up without nothing. I'm talking about the people who had a similar story as me. Like, do you feel like when you're talking about things like this, like, yeah, do you feel like it's bigger than music sometimes?
Yeah, like, especially with this area shit, you know what I mean? Like, when I was writing it, I wanted to change the perspective of what it's like to rep your area. So everyone knows like the normal typical shit, yada yada yada. But like for me, I wanted to show them like it's different. Like when you're repping like your area, when I'm repping Southwest, I'm repping for, you know, everyone that's struggling in the area. I'm repping for everyone that's trying to do something, you know. That's why I wanted to change that whole perspective of it. It's different. No, not talking about beef, not talking about the streets, talking about the actual area itself, you know, where we grew up, who we grew up with. Just want to, you know, uplift everything.
people switch. My own blood hate, lost trust in the church, but I still got faith.
without obviously going into names and specific instances, do you feel like that's happened over the years? Like you've seen people switch up, you've seen people change. Like, do you feel like that's happened over time?
Yeah, 100%. It's something that's always going to happen, you know. But yeah, it just matters how you face it and how you deal with it, you know.
And when you say like people change, is that specifically towards you, or are you just saying like you've just seen people change in general, kind of thing?
Oh no, I've seen people change. I think everyone has, like, but yeah, it's something that's like relatable and something that I've went through. Yeah.
Had nothing before, scared to go there again. But if my pride kicks on, then we'll go full send.
Basically saying like, yo, this hits different because we've actually lived it. You know what I mean? We're not we're spitting facts here. This is why it hits different. And that's always the case in music. Like when you listen to people and you hear what they're talking about in their music, whenever it don't feel genuine, it never hits the same. And let's be real, there's probably people who we believe or ignorantly believe, you know what I mean? And they might have not been about it, but they've made it believable in some way, shape or form, so you vibe with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, like, do you feel like authenticity is a big thing that you pride yourselves off of as well?
Oh, fucking oath. Like when you go through shit and you've done shit and then like you put it in the song, it's like fucking, it just makes it, I don't know, that's what makes it real, like makes it the song straight out.
Yeah. It's what makes you feel it, bro. You know what I mean?
No.
If you tell like the songs that don't, if it doesn't hit a certain way, you know what I mean, then that says it for itself. But when it comes from like a deep place and that's when you can feel it, especially like with how you feel with family, you know what I mean? He's different.
It's like fucking when you like listen to like hectic bars and then you're like, fuck, that like it hits different to that. It's a different kind of feeling, you know, and it's just a more relatable and real feeling.
And not only for other people, but for yourselves as well. You know what I mean? It's just like you're talking about things, and you know you can sit there and be like, yeah, rah, that situation, or I know what I meant by that bar, or I know who I'm referencing there, or I know what day or emotion I'm feeling there, and you know. So again, not only for other people, but yourselves and the people who know you very closely as well. I'm sure there's little gems here and there that only if you know, kind of like little things here and there.
Yeah, just like in our family song, like with my verse, like everyone can hear my verse, but they don't know exactly what I'm on about, you know. Like with Enzo, he knows exactly every line, what I'm talking about, what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? And the same goes for me with his verse.
And you both ended on the deuce deuce. What's the meaning of deuce deuce?
So yeah, deuce. So when we first started, like even became Pistol Pete and Enzo, and wanted to take on this shit seriously, we knew our name was going to be Pistol Pete and Enzo, but then we wanted something that like represented us as like a brand, or just like a way of life, you know what I mean, or just like that just represents us. And then we're thinking and shit, like, and then we thought of Deuce Entertainment, because I think it was after I watched the movie as well, South Central, but I just thought of the word deuce, and because the word deuce means two, and it's got the word us in it, which is short for like brother or bro. And someone put it together like two usos, you know, two brothers. And I'm like, fuck, that represents us hard out.
So I didn't know the us part, the uso part. Like, I like that, so that's why you got deuce deuce, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So the word uso, like slang, is like, so uso means brother, but then for short, for like bro, we say us, which is like UCE.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Nah, strong. It's good to know the meaning behind that. Yeah, cold track, man. I like that feel good thing, innit? Like you're spitting real shit in the track, but there's that feel good element about it as well. Like, yeah. Whereabouts did you film this, by the way?
It's called Seacliff Bridge. It's like south of Sydney.
40 minutes from Campbelltown.
Okay.
Like where we're from. So like going down south and like on the coast.
It's probably normal to you, but being a city boy, I'm looking at this, I'm like, this looks like a fucking beautiful location, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just used to fucking tower blocks and all of that, you know what I mean? Like, something that I don't know if you take it for granted or not, but it's just like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, shit, Australia's looking beautiful in these parts, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Finals EP, how long did it take for you to put it together?
Actually, in the studio, probably probably smacked it out in like a week, eh?
Yeah, he did it in a week, I'm pretty sure.
Like
Yeah,
start
we
to, like as
started over a
in,
week.
did you have tracks written and then took them to studio kind of thing, or as in like you was writing there and then, and the whole process was in a week?
Probably just Family was like the only one. Family and Worst Days was locked on outside like of that week.
Okay.
So they were already done. We just had to retouch
Shit.
them up. But
Yeah.
the rest of the EP was made like inside one studio at Mixed by Mixtree. So we done at his shout out to Sammy Hate as well. Sammy played a massive part, bro. Making all the beats, coming to the studio. Even Jawad as well. Shout out Jawad. Yeah, but it's good to have like a team around us. We just locked in the studio, bro. Hours on hours. Just went in, hand picking the beats, hand picking the sounds, writing on the spot. Fuck, it was cracker, bro. It was something to remember, you know what I mean?
So literally, you just locked yourself in and just hustled for a week or so, and managed to smash out what, like 9 tracks, obviously with the interludes and whatnot, but 9 tracks in total, was it?
Yeah, I think it's not. Oh, is this?
Yeah,
something like that. I can't even remember.
Yeah, no, definitely, and a good EP at that, with the 2 sides of it. You know, the first half being more outgoing, more bullshit, you know what I mean, and then the second half being more personal and things like that. So nah, man, I'll rate it, boys. 100%, I rate it.
Yeah, straight out. Shout out to everyone involved with the music, you know what I mean? Shout out Sammy, Mixtree, Jawad, Chef, everyone, you know, all our supporters and that. We appreciate everything you guys do, you know what I mean? Keep us going and that. And we still got a lot more to give you, say, all day. Shout out Chazza as well, bro. Deuce.
Unless you don't speak until. That's right, to respect my opinion, yeah, to wait until.